one more thing on that same level. In order for you to repeat your marketing to many people, to as many people as possible, you can. Keep in mind, even Bill Gates cannot contact all his prospects all the time. You know, so he contacts certain prospects in certain way over and over again. He cannot reach all people. Even he has a marketing budget problem. We all do. I'm not saying there is no marketing budget problem, because, you know, there is. Our resourcefulness will bring that down to a minimum nevertheless, or to at least improve it on a daily basis. By doing so, we make more money, and by doing so, we can even more market, and that's how it mushrooms again. So, but let me tell you one more big principle in that whole thing. So we want to not contact one person, you know, 1,000 this month, another 1,000 this month, another 1,000 the next month, and then a year later the first. No, we want to contact the first 1,000 or 2,000 over and over again, many times before we switch. So, however, also a principle of quantity versus quality. Okay. Let's assume you have a marketing piece which costs $1. Okay, or let's just say in India 10 rupees or whatever it may be. So, you know, 40 rupees, 50 rupees based on the dollar. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's just an example. So you have one marketing piece which costs 50 rupees and one marketing piece which costs 1 rupee. The 1 rupee marketing piece is obviously not as nice, not as beautiful. It's whatever. Okay, and the 50 rupees more nice and more gorgeous and more beautiful and more elegant and all that stuff. Which one do you use? The $1 one or the 10-cent one? Most people tell me all kinds of things. They tell me it depends on the industry. If you're in a high-class industry, they say it depends on what the prospect wants. The prospect wants nothing. He doesn't know you want to contact him. He doesn't demand high or low marketing brochures. He has no fucking clue. Let me tell you, the answer is rather simple. It always, you opt for more marketing pieces for the same money. Would it be ideal to have a pretty damn beautiful marketing piece, let's just say for $1 or for 50 rupees? Would it be good to have that for everybody and have that once a day? Yeah, it kind of would. You will never get to that level, you know, because it's actually not, or maybe it would actually, I should say, because the truth is, it's the normal, inexpensive marketing brochure in large quantity, repetitively sent, which is so much more effective than a good one sent only a few times. Would a very good one sent hugely many times and repetitively be better? Maybe, but only maybe. But actually the truth is the not so good one works just as well. Okay, you know, let's look at, for instance, just as at a small one example. In my own company, 20 years in business now, consulting doctors and other businesses and, you know, printers and people who make coffee and fashion designers and name it. Not too long time ago, we sent out 10,000 letters. Now, 20 years ago when I started, if I would send out 10,000 letters, I would have gotten 100 inquiries, not sales, inquiries. And you might go, wow, that's very little. Well, actually, yes, it is. Keep in mind, the effort is always larger than what we think we get back. I mean, we never get back. Actually, that would be 1%, by the way. And actually, that is good. I attended a seminar at one time, and during that time, some, 18 years ago, and there was a colleague doing similar consulting, different, a little bit different, but a consultant nevertheless. And he found out that I get 1%, and he freaked out. He goes, oh my God, if I would get 1%, that would be fantastic. And he was actually bigger than I, okay? Quite a bit bigger than I. So in any case, 1% was quite good and quite acceptable. Inquiries. Sales, a whole different ballgame. 20, 30 some percent of them in our particular field, industry, and with the way we operate. Other consultants may have total different numbers. There are no what it should be. Please forget about what it should be at any given time. Just look what it is, not what it should be. Okay? So anyway, We sent out 10,000 letters 6 whatever months ago, and we got a whopping 6 or 7 inquiries. Oh my God, 6 or 7 inquiries. I'm not even sure we made a sale out of it. On the other hand, and by the way, those 10,000 letters costed $7,000 for us to send out. Very cheap letters, nothing fancy at all. And by the way, it was nothing fancy back then, 20 years ago either. We're sending out emails to 300,000 people, and we get 50 and 60 inquiries. How much does the 300,000 email cost us? Not even a fraction of the $6,000 the letters cost us. Now, again, please don't shut down on me if for some reason you think email doesn't work for your profession. It's all, and it's just one example on top of it. It's an example to show you the quantity of quality, type of things. There are so many other things. And on top of it, I don't think there's any industry in the world where email isn't going to work. However, you might have to be resourceful on how to get the email. That's your responsibility to get the knowledge on how to get it, and I will give it to you. And of course, you need to do it. But again, there's more. There's much more to do it on how to be able to do cheap and inexpensive marketing in large quantity. This is just a small example, but the principle is this what it is. Okay. All right, repetitiveness, and always opt for the less expensive marketing. Don't get told by anybody that it must be and should be elegant and all those type of things. If there really is a need for large and elegant brochures and marketing, which on an average there isn't, trust me. Okay, I've dealt with very high-class companies in high-class products. On an average there isn't. But if there is, it would be sent to people who are already interested, not to the first chat of getting their first interest. This shit about like first impression is the last impression you get, and all that, you get no second first impression. That is so overrated, it isn't even true. How many of you are married to a girl where the first impression wasn't exactly the greatest one, and blah, 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 and or you made no impression at the first impression, and you managed anyway. All right, so anyway, that's just all there is to it, okay? That first, I'm not saying one couldn't have a good first impression. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying life isn't over if the first impression isn't good. It's like, when the President of the United States speaks to the college or university graduate and says, your future, the future of the country is in your hand and it lasts on your shoulders, and go out there and your first job will be important. Or like even actually young kids get told the type of profession and the type of college and the type of topics you choose are going to be determining your life. What a bullshit. It couldn't be more untrue. Hardly any one of us works in the profession we have learned. Hardly any one of us does what we have learned in school as such. We do other things. No, life isn't over because your first impression isn't there. But the quantity of impression, if you don't do that, then your life will be pretty much over. All right, let's go to the next topic again.